Hi there, everyone. It's Anthony, and I'm back again with another episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Of course, joining me is the great Kyland.
Yes, hello there.
And we're going to be reacting to the show together. So, of course, if you haven't seen, I've already seen the show before. Kyland hasn't seen it, so we're kind of looking at it from two different perspectives. I'm going to ask him questions, yada, yada, yada. This is episode 10. We're almost through the whole first season, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah,
And
we are. It's been a pretty roller coaster of a ride.
so since this one is called Nightmares, and we've had all these other, I guess interesting metaphorical shows of different supernatural things coming up and affecting their high school activities and whatnot. What do you think that Nightmare might be about?
I'm gonna guess something related to dreams.
Good. Yeah, wow, that's a really good guess. I would have never thought of that.
It's something that has to do with dreams, or maybe it's just a metaphor on the the master down there with the main vampire, like the overarching story. So maybe it has something to do with that being a nightmare. But who knows? This show has. Oh, yeah, I will say, since we've been watching it, this show has surprised me at just about every corner. So I could be totally wrong about everything I just said.
Fair enough. All right, well, let's go ahead and get to it. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 1, Episode 10, Nightmares.
Oh, this is definitely a dream.
Well, yeah, you were right in that regards about the master and the dream and stuff. But you know what that kind of reminded me of when she dropped the stake? It's like when you're in a dream and you're trying to fight somebody and it's like everything.
Oh,
just
yeah.
slow.
it's like your arms turn to jello.
I guess that's the Vampire Slayer equivalent. Like you're in a dream and your hand just drops your stake out of nowhere.
Your clove of garlic just doesn't have any potency.
Right, exactly. Wow. It sucks to be a Vampire Slayer, man.
I spoke with your father. He's coming, right? You're on for this weekend. Good.
I am a little curious about her father, to be honest with you.
Yeah, this is the first time her father's been mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you know that she is the center of the universe and the rest of us merely revolve around her?
Why don't you revolve yourselves out of my life?
Wendell, would you read the first two paragraphs on page 78 where Isaacson describes the rapid improvement active listening brought to some special needs clients?
Wait, what? She must have fallen asleep in class.
Get off of me! Help! 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 Off of me! Please help me! Please!
Sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
So wait, all that was real?
I mean, it's not completely clear yet, but clearly that guy just got attacked by some spiders and was really scared.
Yeah.
The way she dropped her pencil had looked so fake. I thought she was doing it like on purpose for some reason.
Yeah, I thought it was like supposed to be like an allusion to when she dropped the stake.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Maybe that was it. That's interesting.
I don't know, I might be reading into it too much.
That's what art is made for.
When you were a mortal boy, what did you fear?
Monsters.
We are defined by the things we fear. If I can face my fear, it cannot master me.
So go out in the sun then.
Something is happening above.
Really?
A new, powerful psychic force. Do you feel it?
I feel change.
Change.
How about the spiders? Did you talk to
So
Giles?
this one is less monster of the week and
Spiders.
more like
We're
a
looking kind
mental.
what's the word I'm looking for?
And it's
Insane
looking
about what
at
happened.
Buffy's mental head.
Like spider you.
I'm sorry, I'm unruffled by spiders. Now if a bunch of Nazis crawled all over my face.
Wow.
That was pretty intense.
Bunch of nuts.
Thank you.
Wow, the Hellmouth, the center of mystical convergence, supernatural monsters.
Hey, Giles. Wakey, wakey.
I was in the stacks.
Well, he wasn't acting weird at all.
Hey, Wendell. How are you?
This new guy? Or is he gonna die in this episode?
There's nothing to say. You saw 200 insects. You gonzoed. Anybody would have.
They're not insects. They're arachnids.
They're from the Middle East?
Spiders are arachnids. They have 8 legs. Insects only have 6.
Do all insects have 6 legs?
According to this guy.
Happens every time.
Yesterday in class, I thought I just nodded off again. But then everyone else started screaming too.
Oh, wow.
You don't know our classes, do you?
So these nightmares are happening.
Are they a shocker?
life.
You've cut history.
And that looks like a hard test, too. It's a short answer.
Right, exactly.
At least I know my name.
There he is.
It's what he said right before. He said lucky 19. That's weird, right?
Take care.
Lucky 19.
She'll recover. She's got a couple of shattered bones, a little internal bleeding. She got off pretty easy.
Goodness.
Really?
The word lately?
That's pretty easy.
I mean, I was wondering how she even got out alive, though. Was he blind or something?
I'm just
Seriously, he's got those Ray Charles shades on.
That thing happened.
Which is a fair Wiggins, I admit.
And he's
but I think
inside.
it ties in with Laura.
Huh.
It's a connection. It doesn't sound like anything... What?
Xander, what happened here?
I don't know. I was just a minute ago. It's a dream. It's got to be a dream. Ow! Wake up.
You don't know if you didn't find anything.
Having a problem.
What is it?
I can't read.
We always said
I totally forgot that Buffy's dad ever appeared on this show. I thought it was just something that they just never referenced. But I do remember this now. I totally forgot.
rude and you're not nearly as bright as I thought you were going to be.
Dang.
Hey, Buffy, let's be honest. Could you stand to live in the same house with a daughter like that?
That's messed up.
Because it's true. I think that's the least we owe one another. I sure thought you'd turn out that way.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
I don't understand. This can't be happening.
Cornelius. Oh, that's her nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's such a superficial nightmare amongst everybody else's.
Yeah, that girl who got beat up really kind of got the short end of the stick with these nightmares. I mean,
Yeah.
one person's
really.
nightmare is just bad hair. Her nightmare is getting beat up in a boiler room. Like,
For real. And she was just laying there all messed up in the hospital.
exactly.
Who? The ugly man. He wants to kill me. And he hurt that girl. Why does he want to kill you, Billy? Billy, it's okay.
The
Just
ugly
tell
man.
me. He's here!
Damn. that was ferocious.
Oh my goodness. Oh!
Why is he yelling so much?
I swear like 2 or 3 of these yells have been the exact same sound bite.
Hello?
Her nightmare better not be Xander rejecting her or something.
Yeah, really, something lame.
Uh-oh. Oh, the Nazis
Oh
about...
my gosh.
So not only are their nightmares coming true, they're acting like they're in their nightmares for real. Like, they don't have common sense.
Yeah, seriously.
Se tutta vestita da Giglio, mi piace la treccia tua bruna, fra i canti dei veri.
My turn.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Oh, wow.
Every TV show character is scared of clowns.
Of course. It's got to be done. Wow.
You were a lousy clown. Your balloon animals were pathetic. Everyone can make a giraffe.
Okay, Xander.
Yeah, he really did just do that. Yeah, this episode is a little paced a little bit different for me.
Just paced differently.
Yeah.
Like, does he not realize how ridiculous this is, that there would just be a headstone?
Really, she's not dead. There's no way.
Like, exactly. How did he even know that was hers? He can't read.
Wow.
Buffy?
Thought I was dead. Buffy, your face.
Once again, I'm muting Kyland. It's interesting seeing a few points in this episode that are kind of reminiscent of season 6 when Buffy's in the casket and comes back up. It's just, I know it's not connected. It's just cool to see.
I had the strangest dream.
You were there. You were there.
Oh, Billy's got company. I'm his kitty league coach. What are you talking about?
You said it was my fault that we lost.
Wow, he
It
tried
wasn't
to
my
run.
fault. There's 8 other players on the team. You know that.
When Buffy was a vampire, you weren't still, like, attracted to her, were you?
Willow, how can you? I mean, that's really bent. She was grotesque.
Still dug her, huh?
I'm sick. I need help.
Don't I know it?
Wow.
This music. Well, yeah, that was season 1, episode 10, Nightmares. What were your thoughts, Kyland?
It was interesting. This one to me was different in tone than any of the other ones we've ever seen. Like, it was like the speed, it felt different to me. Like, it felt like the story just kind of unfolded at a different pace than anything else that I've seen on the show.
You think it was faster, slower?
For me, it was a little bit slower.
How do you feel like that ended up affecting, I guess, the overall quality of the episode? Was it better or worse or just different?
Well, that kid isn't he the kid that's been with the master this whole time?
No, he's not. And I was thinking that's a little confusing of them. I'm like, you can't be putting 2 little white boys on the show at the same time and expect us to know the difference. I'm like, I don't know. I really thought they were the same person at first. I'm like, I just like, it's just 2 little kids. I'm like, I don't know. I thought they were the same, but I'm pretty sure that was different. So yeah.
All right. Well, at that point, I'm a little confused. I definitely thought that he was the kid that was hanging out with the master.
Oh no, he wasn't the kid that was hanging out with the master. That was somebody different.
Huh. Well, I guess with that being, I guess either way, it was still a pretty interesting episode.
I did like the way that they were able to take this episode and morph it into like a combination of a Monster of the Week episode and still kind of an overarching story episode, because like you said, it was able to kind of psychoanalyze Buffy in a lot of different ways. And because of the nightmare aspect and everything, it allowed them to bring the master in without actually having to have him there, even though there were a few scenes that I think were real, but they still didn't have anything to do with Buffy. I think we just saw the master and the little boy on their own, but they were actually able to bring the master into, to Buffy's world and to her situation without actually having to go there all the way just yet. So I felt like that was a smart tactic to employ. at this point. I also thought it was cool how they did the little thing at the end with the coach and whatnot, because then it's like it suddenly makes a lot of sense, because like the guy, well then again I don't know if that makes sense, but the guy, you know, the monster had some type of weird hand. I was thinking maybe that could be the coach wearing some type of baseball glove. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it was cool how they how that ended up being who the monster was. That was cool seeing Buffy's dad for the first time since he hadn't even been
that
mentioned.
was fun. That was wild. This is the, like you said, first mention of Buffy's dad at all.
I can't remember whether or not, like, I haven't seen the full like original movie. I've seen some clips of it, some parts of it, and I can't remember whether he was in that movie or whether like that was like right after the divorce or whatnot. But I might actually react to that movie or something, so don't say anything about that in the comments actually, because I might actually watch that movie at some point. So if you went to Sunnydale High School and this happened, what would your nightmare be?
Jeez, what would my nightmare be? I had a nightmare recently about having a snake under my bed. So maybe it would be something that has to do with snakes, like following me around or something.
Yeah.
Like a rattlesnake specifically.
Makes sense. Well, I know when I was younger and like really into video games, like my I used to have dreams that like my console would like break or something, and I would lose all my progress in the games or something.
Oh wow.
And I would lose. So maybe that would have been my nightmare. I don't know. That's the first thing that comes to mind. That was cool that Xander got to have a little moment in this episode where we got to see him start to like confront his fear or whatnot. Like it wasn't like just a case of Buffy saving him or anything, which tends to happen a lot. So that was cool to see that from Xander. And I guess that's a small little bit of character growth for what it's worth. Now Xander isn't afraid of clowns anymore. Take that how you will. Now that we're reaching the end of the season and we can probably expect to start to, you know, I guess, I'm not sure whether the next 2 episodes are going to be story plot episodes or whether they're just going to save it for the finale and the next one's going to be another Monster of the Week. But what do you hope to see coming up now, closing out the season?
I kind of want to see more of Angel, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't seen him in a while, and we found out he was a vampire, so I want to get more into his backstory, but I know they probably won't go into more of his backstory. They'll probably just, if they do have him in the show, they'll just have him there for the present.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and to of course the master and everything. Like I vaguely remember what happens, but I've kind of forgotten too. So I'm in here for the ride as well. So I'm just looking forward to seeing what's gonna happen next. So leave a comment below about what you thought of this episode. Maybe what your nightmare would have been if you went to Sunnydale, if that's not too corny. And like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And yeah, we'll see you all on another day. Goodbye.